Good evening, folks. How is everyone today? Great to have you all aboard. For those just listening right now, please type in your first name, tell us where you're from. And once you do that, you will see the chat in the Q&A section so you can ask your questions. So, what do we got? Hey, Tom and Mary Jo, and Kevin and Mary, Joyce, Danny, John, Toronto. Hey, Jacqueline. Esteemed. And Marissa. Brian Wilson. Chris from Ohio. Hey. Jim and Denise from Nevada. All right, guys, we're going to get started in 1 minute or so here. Again, type in, if you're just watching, just click on the, you see enter your name and then just enter the chat. There's no need for email or any personal information. Just enter your name, tell us where you're from. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, you can also click on the link to join us in the studio or leave your comments there. And we have Megan.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Happy what?
Happy Thursday.
What's happy Thursday? Oh, happy Thursday. Hey, Steve. And we have PHCP, if that's your real name, from Ocala, Florida. Good to have you. And Raymond and Kendall. Ron Caswell from Victoria. Hey, Ron. I heard you guys were in Panama. Well, passing through after your Colombia trip. Hope you had fun. It's Friday Eve. Where are you, Brian, that it's Friday Eve? You're 24 hours away. I don't even think that's possible.
That's what an Eve is.
Yeah. Thursday Eve.
I like that. It
was Wednesday today, so hey, there we go. All right, so we are going to talk all things Panama tonight, folks. So for all you new people, the rules are, don't you love rules? Put your questions in the Q&A section. On a computer, look to the right, upper right, well, actually the very side panel, you will see, like right beside the chat, you will see chat and Q&A. So you click Q&A and put your questions in there. On your phone, you swipe up from the bottom, you'll have the option of chat or Q&A. Questions go in the Q&A. I said, St. Eve. There it is. Oh. All right. A whole bunch of people just slipped by. I didn't see them. But hi, everybody. So we are going to start with a 2-minute opening for you people that don't know us. And this seems to be a bunch of you on here. Megan, let's tell them who we are.
Sure, let's do it.
You
All
go
right.
first.
So if you guys, most of you know, but we'll do a quick rundown. We're Retire in Panama Tours. We have cross-country relocation tours if you're thinking about moving to Panama or retiring in Panama. We have people of all different ages, backgrounds from all over, mainly Canada and the US, but some from Europe and other places too, come to explore Panama, see if it's going to be the right place for them, the right fit for them. For us, it's really important that we give you the picture of Panama, of the reality of what it's like here, and not just, it's great for us. We love it, of course, but we know it's not for everybody. So it's worth it to come do your research, see what the healthcare is going to be like, what the housing is going to be like, what kind of location here might be for you, because we have mountains, we have beaches. You can see, as Rod has up on the screen there, the 7-day tour sees a little bit of both. The 3-day Cherokee Highlands tours focus is on towns up here in the mountains that are a little bit cooler for people who know they just can't take that hot beach weather and they want to be in the cooler mountain areas. So, and then we also have our Panama Total Access Pass. If you're just starting to research and you want to have one source of a lot of great information, or for some reason a group tour just isn't for you, you want to do your own tour, we have local guides in there that you can connect with across the country who are all wonderful. You can put your own tour together. And all of these come with video calls with us so that we can help you plan your trip, plan your move. And it really helps you save a lot of stress and time and money because you're doing it with our support. And we want to make sure that you come here and you feel good when you get here and there's no surprises and you don't get stuck with any unexpected things that can happen if you come here taking advice on Facebook. So that's what we do. I've been here for about wow, almost 8 years now. I originally moved to Panama with the Peace Corps. I'm from Pennsylvania, and now we're based here in Boquete, me and my husband Oscar, who's starting a tour right now. And I love it here. So I love to help people who also love it come and get settled and have a great community of people from all over the world here.
Cool. Okay, well, there's no time left for me. Megan took it all, so we'll just start. Okay, 2 minutes maximum. My name's Rod. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here in 2011. And I came here by myself, not knowing anybody, one-way ticket, packed all my bags, that type of stuff. And I got in trouble. I met this guy in the corner here. That's Megan's husband. 3 months into my move here, and he saved my butt. Oscar was already had been helping for a couple years, helping expats move to Panama the right way. So he helped me get immigration, helped me fix up problems I had with my vehicle title, get a driver's license, like basically first become legal, then everything from finding rentals to just getting everything in place that I needed in my move. Every one of you are different. Like we do tours now, a full tour is maximum 16 people. Everyone on that tour has got a different story and a little different process to make the move. And that's why we're here. And we've done, no one has surprised us lately. Typically, we always, whatever your situation is, um, we actually um, had a lady that wanted to move here and she wanted to bring her mom. Her mom didn't have quite enough of a pension, but didn't realize that she could actually bring her mother as a dependent on her own visa if she is looking after her mom. And those are little things that, a lot of people don't know. And we have the experience with, and we can help you get that done. So, anyhow, that's what we're here to talk about tonight. I'm not bringing your mother, although you're welcome to, but we are here to talk about your questions, your unique situations, every single thing. For those of you guys that did not hear, on a computer on your right, you'll see the Q&A section. And on the all questions go to Q&A. And on your phone, you scroll up from the bottom, you'll see chat or Q&A. Q&A is for questions, folks. And that being said, oh, and again, I see I got Facebook and the YouTube streams going here. If you're on Facebook, it's almost better to click there's the first comment in the comment section is a link to our studio here, so you can ask your questions live. Your YouTube questions, there's also it's streaming with a special comment section there that you can type your questions in right there. So, all right, Megan, are you
Yeah,
doing
we have
questions
some questions.
or am I?
Yep,
Go ahead.
I'll do them. We have some coming in the Q&A, but we have two in the chat that I think we should just take for now because they're sort of relevant to our introductions and might be
Okay.
interesting
Yeah,
for people.
and
But
people
Jim,
are keep on typing them in the chat. Please, if you type the question in the chat, just click on Q&A and type it in there also. Go ahead, answer those,
yeah,
Megan.
we're gonna take these few from Jim and Denise in the chat, but going forward, we'll move over to the Q&A section. So they're asking why we love it here and why we moved. So it seems like it's mostly directed to me because I was saying that a lot. I originally moved just because I got a Peace Corps position here. Before that, I didn't really know much about Panama. But I met my husband here during that time and really fell in love with the country as well. And now I love it because it's such a diverse place to live. There's people from it's such a diverse place to live. It's a really great place to raise kids. Speaking of, I'll let Rod take it from here.
I moved here from Canada because of the high tax situation. I was 47 years old, and I wanted to reduce that. Um, Jim and Denise asked, what are the yearly taxes? There are no taxes on your US or Canadian income in Panama whatsoever, besides whatever taxes you pay to the US. And but taxes here, if you run a business here or are employed here, they're a lot lower, like very comfortable. It's maximum at a high income will be 25%. At a average income, it is um, anywhere between 8 and 15%. Okay, okay, guys, we got to get clear. We got it. Questions in the Q&A, not the chat. I could turn off the chat, and that would make people do it. But yeah, so questions go under Q&A. So you got to click that little button that says Q&A on the right. Type your question, or on your phone, just scroll up. Okay. I'm going to turn off the chat for a second here. The last question we got in there is, can you work in Panama as a U.S. citizen? You can work if you get a visa that comes with a work visa, or if you get a employment offer from a Panamanian company. There are a lot of Panamanian companies that hire foreigners because there are a lot of foreign companies operating here. Mhm. Okay. All right. Ed, you have a question. I'm going to, bring it up on the screen. Hey, Ed, how are you? You were on the March 3rd tour, and you mentioned that Social Security checks could be deposited directly into Panama banks. Yes, that's been going on for years. The process is, once you become a permanent resident, this can't happen before a permanent resident, you contact the Panama U.S. Embassy. They will connect you with the Actually, it's the Costa Rican embassy that puts it all together. You get a form from your bank, you fill out all the information, and it can start happening fairly quickly, like 3 to 6 months. So it won't happen immediately. The U.S. This is only U.S. Social Security. The U.S. made a change this August in the rules that you now, if you live outside of the U.S. and receive your Social Security to a bank account outside of the US, you now have to fill out the proof of life form once every year instead of every 2 to 4 years, depending on the schedule you were at. Okay. Next,
Next, Jim and Denise, what are the taxes, income, and or state?
taxes in
I think
taxes.
income taxes.
Oh,
There's there's no state tax here.
yeah. Yeah, no, there's no state tax. We have a 7% sales tax on general goods, except food and stuff like that. Taxes are if this is only if you're producing Panamanian sourced income. Again, I will stress there are no taxes on your investments outside of Panama, like your stock market. Your like there's no taxes on your pension. There's no taxes on anything like that. Okay, but if you derive income from Panama sources, meaning you have a job here or you open a business, personal taxes are nothing to 11,000, 11 to 50, they're 15%. And on the portion above 50, they're 25%. So at 50,000, they're basically around 11, 12% because it's zero on the first 11. So, and corporate tax is 25% here. So that is higher than US in compatible to Canada. Mhm.
From Jacqueline, for a Canadian police check, do we need to do fingerprints with the RCMP?
Yep. Yeah. All
Yeah,
criminal
and for the
background
US,
checks.
it's with,
Yeah.
yep.
But don't do it with the RCMP. You'll be waiting, like, don't do it directly with them. Do it with a facilitator. You'll have the results back from hours to a few days. And it'll cost $50.
Okay. Morris asks about finding a used vehicle.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Oscar does this for expats moving here. He has a great background in mechanics, knows a lot about cars, and has some good contacts here. So he's great at finding lightly used vehicles. Um, Our biggest suggestions are buy brands and models that are common, that are popular here, that will work around the country. Think about where you're going to live and make sure it's something that you can get maintenance on in that area of the country. You can get parts on it pretty easily. Definitely have a reliable mechanic check out a used vehicle before you purchase it. So next was from Kevin.
Mhm.
If I have a US passport card, is that acceptable ID in Panama? Or does it have to be the booklet?
Yeah. No, it has to be the book. US passport cards are only good between US, Canada, and Mexico. There was talk about with the European Union, but that hasn't happened yet. They don't know what they are. They've never seen them here. So, yeah, no use to you. Because the problem is they need to see your stamp. That's immigration in Panama still works on the entry stamp. Even if you're a resident now, they still no one's seen a U.S. passport card. They do not know what it is, like the police. Mhm.
If you're a tourist in Panama, that is your ID, your passport book. And they
Yeah.
did approve now digital versions if you want to keep on your phone, but it has to be a picture of your information photo page and a picture of the page with your immigration stamp into the country. From Chris, you're not health insurance experts, but I'm sure you have recommendations. So far, many brokers I've contacted are not helpful. Will your brokers fully commit to assistance? I feel like we
Oh,
need a little bit more information, Chris. Like
well, if you
you
like, it sounds like he's been reaching out to brokers and they're not helpful. Our broker, everyone that comes on our tour, they sit down, Zoom conversation. She builds them out a spreadsheet sheet of every single um, health insurance company she feels it fits what you want and what their services are, what their deductibles are, what their monthly payments are, so you can figure out exactly what you need.
Yeah. That being said, until you start residency, you can't get insurance in Panama, and you do need to be here at least 6 months of the year to qualify to have insurance coverage here.
Yeah.
But yes, she'll give you all of your options. So she's a great. You can send us an email and we can help you out. Jacqueline, what is the border crossing like at Paso Canoas? That's how we will be coming since we're in Nicaragua right now. It depends on the day. Really, it can take 30 minutes or it can take half a day. And it depends on what you're bringing to. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's going to be. I don't know if you've gone into Costa Rica. It's going to be as gong show as that. It is what it is. The border crossings in Panama, they're like half a kilometer wide. You exit Costa Rica, then you're walking or driving, however you're getting across. If you're bringing a vehicle, your own vehicle, you're going to have to really do some preparation on that. If you're coming on the bus, it's not that complicated. So, yeah, you just follow the crowd and do what they say, and they stamp, 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 and make sure though you need some type of a ticket back out if you don't have your residency yet. You can't just come into Panama. If you're coming here, Jacqueline, to get your residency, that's not enough to tell them. You need a bus ticket out of Panama if you're coming in by bus within 6 months. Mhm.
Great. Okay, next is from Raymond. I'm thinking of coming in August, but I want to stay an additional 7 days. Will you be able to accommodate me and finding two places to stay of my interest? Yeah, of course. So many people spend extra time before or after the tour, and I will personally help you plan, send you recommendations for lodging, shuttles, tours, whatever you need. I'm happy to help. Moving fast, these questions. Jim and Denise, can you work remotely when when your employer is in the US?
Great question, Jim and Denise. The the requirement of a work visa. Now you're going to get different answers from different lawyers, but hey, we've been here many years and doing this many years. Is basically you need a work visa if you are going to take a job a Panamanian could do. Okay, or in a Panamanian office. Now, maybe because you're English, some Panamanians couldn't do it, but let's say you are going to work for Dell and they need an English customer service manager because they actually have their telephone customer service here. You still need a work visa to do that. You're being paid by a Panama company. And, but if I moved here 14 years ago, I had an online business. But if you're working from your home, and earning non-Panamanian source business, that's your business. Just don't go open up an office on Main Street and put a sign up saying that you're doing that. So basically, the answer is yes, you can work remotely. There are many remote workers, like many people that hold remote jobs here back in the U.S. and Canada.
Kendall, what about starting a business in Panama, aka small restaurant? How is healthcare access for those making the move? Absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's not too many people I would say that want to come here and open a business. It is more retiree friendly, but absolutely you can. Um, It just depends because with Friendly Nations visa, that would be, for younger folks that don't have Pensionado visa, that's the most common. So you'd want to secure that first, and that does require quite an investment. So doing that and then restaurant on top of that, you'd have to look at the numbers of it all. But absolutely, you can. A lot of people do. Um, we would say make sure you really get to know the area first, the laws, make sure you have a good accountant, a good lawyer, that you're doing things the right way.
You can open up a business on a pensionado visa. You just can't work in that business, meaning you can't do any job that a Panamanian employee could do. So let's say you open a restaurant. You can't work the cash register. You can't wait the tables. You can't wash the dishes. You can't do any of that. What you can do as an owner is hire and fire staff, make the schedule, and do the banking. That's it. And you can hang around and talk to your clients. That's about it. Just don't refill their water. $10,000 fine for that, and in second instance, they can deport you.
Yeah, because they're happy to have foreigners come in here and creating jobs, but they don't want foreigners taking away Panamanian jobs.
Mhm. Yeah,
And as far as
healthcare.
healthcare
Oh,
access,
go ahead.
you can go, Rat.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, I'll start. As far as healthcare access, access is different throughout the country. If you want the best private hospitals with some ambulance service there, stuff like that, you're looking either Panama City or within 35 minutes of David, basically. Well, even within an hour of David, because places like Volcan, stuff like that, can still get there. But if you don't really care about that, you're young, you're healthy, like anywhere in the country is great for you. And there's always access to doctors, clinics, labs, stuff like that locally. Megan, you're muted now. Can't
Oh,
hear you.
sorry, from Sarah.
Oh,
Does
okay.
CPP and OAS work the same?
Hi, Sarah. We did not make the August list. Look for this year. No, Canada is not direct depositing into Panama yet. They have, I think it's 18 countries they're working with, and we're hoping that they deposit into foreign banks in their currency. So what most people do, even for you as folks in Social Security, when you move here, you don't have to close your home bank account. Most people are still receiving the Social Security or CPP and OAS checks in their home bank account. I've been here 14 years. I still have a Canadian bank account. I'm not collecting yet because I decided to wait. But when I do, it'll just go to my home bank account. And then when I need money, I just do a wire transfer here.
Yeah, and then Kimberly asks, do you have to be does in process of pensionado qualify to start the
No,
Social Security deposit?
you have to have your permanent residency, and then you can start the process. Mhm. So it'll be a year, basically, but before it starts happening. Right now, the last person I talked to um waited. Well, that actually is starting to receive it. It took them like I think it was 11 months, 6 months to get their visa, 5 months to get their Social Security deposited here.
Kendall said we've heard about the discounts. What are all these discounts about? Yes, they're wonderful. Do we have the list, Rod?
What do you mean a myth? I can't read the
They're
question.
not a myth.
Oh, over here.
She said, yeah, we've heard about discounts for
Oh,
seniors and US relocating there. Is that a myth? On airline tickets, entertainment, etc.
no, way back, and I'm not going to give the exact date, but it was in the early 2000s. And if you Google Panama Pensionado discounts, the list is there. Of course, that happens to be our website. I'll just bring it up on the screen. Um, Okay, discounts. Here they are. I should be able to read that if I make it stay still. Okay. Okay. Um, Back in early 2000s, Panama started their seniors. They gave them they started a program that would give them discounts. Panama's all about their older people. It's kind of nice. You got special lines in the banks, and you can in the grocery stores. They'll call you ahead of everyone else, make everyone wait. And yeah, it's always nice. But they gave discounts to all their seniors at that time. It was when women were 55 and men were 60. Today it's 57 and 62, but most places still take it at 55 and 60. Now, if you look at what and if you have a pensionable visa, there's no age requirement. If you let's say you're a retired military or retired police and you're 50 and 51, you still get these discounts with your pensionable card. Okay. Then you get a one time duty tax exemption for household goods. Don't even worry about that. That is so. To qualify for that ends up costing you more than just paying the duty because they're never going to claim that your stuff is worth $10,000 anyway. So most brokers just write it at a couple $1,000, so the duty's like neg- negligible, and you can't take the exemption until after you get your permanent visa. So it's kind of dumb. Same as the duty for bringing in a new car every 2 years. Like who does that? You buy the car. Most cars, especially non-U.S. cars, are cheaper in Panama than they are in the U.S. right now because we don't have our dealers don't have duties on it. Let's get to the good stuff. 50% off entertainment anywhere in the country. Movies, concerts, sports. Already, guys, it's ridiculously cheap. To go see a movie, and this is the same day they open in US and Canada in English, it's $7. For a pensionado, it's $3.50. And yes, your popcorn and drink are only a couple bucks. 30% off bus, boat, and train fares. Not that, 25% off airline tickets. How it works can be a little bit of a gong show. I, but every airline's a little bit different. But once you get set up, it works pretty good. 50% off hotel stays Monday through Thursday and 30% off Friday through Sunday. But you have to remember that is the hotel rack rate. You can find their rack rates typically on their websites, but a lot of times their advertised rate is already half off. So some people like that save because they go to the city and they stay in really nice hotels on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and they can save some good money. 25% off restaurants, 15% off McDonald's, fast foods, 15% off hospital bills if you don't have insurance, prescription medicines, medical consults, dental eye exam, professional and technical services. Now, there's a whole list of that. It's less than you think, but it's not as if they say, I want my computer repaired, I want a discount. That's not on the list. Home loans, discounts on utility bills. It's only two. It's electrical and water, but still makes a decent discount. And the electrical is on the first 600 kilowatts. And there's some home loan discounts. Not that many seniors get home loans. Okay.
Next, RJ, what's this 7 day tour about? So if you go to our website, retireandpanamatours.com, you can click on the 7 day tour tab and it will tell you everywhere we go, what's all included. Basically, 3 meals a day, all of your lodging, just doesn't include international airfare and alcohol. So we see the most popular expat towns across the country. You get to see a lot about the culture, the locals, as well as meeting expats who have recently made the move, hearing their stories, healthcare, housing, all that sort of important stuff. We even meet with our lawyers to go over immigration. We meet with insurance broker to go over health insurance options here. We talk about banking, emergency services, all those sorts of things that you would want to know when you're planning your potential move.
I just put the link in the chat so you can Look at all the details on a 7-day tour. We're sold out right now, April. We're sold out May. We do have two spots in June, and I believe there's one for a couple left in July. So come on down. And then August, September, we got variation amount of spots open.
Yeah, and we'll be there. Us and Oscar.
Yep.
We spend a few days with you. Oscar the whole time. Rod and I will be with you for a few days. Rob asks about contact info for Oscar for a used car purchase. I put in the chat our contact us page. So you can just write us a little message there and I will send you back all the details. We had a follow-up, Rod, about police check for Canadians.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Can we get
Okay,
it with Interpol?
yeah.
Mhm.
If you're applying, you got to apply as a citizen, and obviously you're a Canadian citizen, and so that's why they're asking for the RCMP check. Okay, and now the Interpol one, I don't know. I believe you're a permanent resident of Nicaragua. And if you have been there more than 2 years, you can ask a lawyer if you can get one done there. It might be easier because even in Panama, we only use local police checks. But like if you're, let's say, you're a Canadian and you've been living in the U.S. for 4 years and you got a green card, you can actually get either an RCMP or an FBI check. It's your choice. So the same could be for you, Jacqueline, depending on your situation. Mhm.
Great. From Kendall, what are specific requirements for establishing full-time residency? So there are many residency programs that could give you permanent residency in Panama. The most popular ones are the Pensionado visa and the Friendly Nations visa. If you have a pension of at least $1,000 a month as a single or $1,250 a month as a married couple, then you qualify to get permanent residency visa. And that's one of the most easiest, most affordable permanent residency programs in the world. It's really a great option if you have a pension. And if you don't, then Panama does require some sort of investment. Um, so it could be through real estate, in a CD, in starting a business. Um, and then there are certain other visa programs too for people who maybe work in a profession that Panama needs more of those workers here. Um, and there's also some fast track visas for people who want to invest even more.
Okay, Rachel. I am going to answer Rachel's questions in the chat, but any other questions, Rachel, please put in the Q&A. And we do, it's a very good question, Rachel, because there are options out there. I'm going to give you basically the three reasons, not why we're better than somebody, but why we feel we're the best. We have a small group tour, okay? We can give the attention to detail. The owners of the company, two of us are on this Q&A tonight. The other one's just starting a tour. We are all involved. We all live in Panama. We're the ones who answer the phones and the emails and do the actual tours. We have a combined 35 years experience helping people move here. But our tours are between 8 and 16 people. We don't drive a bus. We drive a van. It's called an Iveco, and you might know it. It's like the sister of the Mercedes Sprinter. So it's a very comfortable, nice sized van, but still allows us to get to whether it's right up to the beach or wherever we're going. So number one, we have a smaller group tours that we can give you, not just us. As you know, we meet other expats on the tour, and we meet experts, we meet lawyers, we meet um, insurance people. Like we meet all these people throughout the tour, so you have more time to talk to them. Number two, this is us, qualified relocation experts. Oscar's been here 19 years now. I'm going to be hitting 15 and Megan 8. And Oscar has been in relocation basically since he came here. I joined Oscar in 2012, and Megan joined us in 2019. Hmm. Best after tour support. Now, this is it. At the end of the tour, we always tell our people it's not over, and then we hand you our cell phone numbers. That we want, and it's not just a cell phone. We also give you a members area with every contact you would ever need to move to Panama. You get this 460-page electronic book. You can also get a copy of the hardcover. We have those available for purchase after the tour. If you're a real reader and like to sit in your big chair, everything you'll know about Panama, that's called our Panama Total Access Pass. It comes with every tour. And we will do one-on-one videos calls helping you build your checklist. We will set you up like everything we see. If you contact a rentals person and they don't call you back, we know that. And we're involved in finding you, helping you find a place to live. Like if you're looking on the islands, they'll say, "Hey, how about this building in Gorgona?" And we'll say, "We love it. We know so and so lives there. We know that." Or if you're in Cherokee, "Hey, how about this place in El Francis?" Yes, good place, nice neighborhood. Boom, boom. We're there to help you do it. We don't. We're not going to throw you into some group to have some other expats. Who are not relocation experts. We are the relocation experts, and we are going to help you make that move. I apologize for that long answer. Okay.
Okay. Let's see, where were we? When working in the USA remotely, what is the procedure for that? Living in Panama but working in the USA. So basically, Panama doesn't care. What you need to check with is your employer. Will they allow you to work abroad? Some people, I mean, if it will run a VPN and they have workarounds for this, but generally, if it's okay with your employer for you to be abroad working, Panama doesn't care.
I know travel agents, insurance people, accountants, um, therapy people, all like these are all people that I personally know that work at home with the U.S. companies. Some of them moved down here and still have their job 5 years later working for U.S. companies. Paid in U.S. dollars and big money, and they're still paid to the U.S. bank accounts, and they bring here whatever they need to live.
Yeah, sort of a follow-up from that. So if we work in the US, but we decide to reside in Panama, how can we still become a resident and what are the logistics? So you don't have to actually live in Panama to get permanent residency here. Once you get it, and we went over a couple of the different visa options, once you have your permanent residency here, the only thing to maintain it is that you need to be in Panama every 2 years. You can't be outside of Panama for more than 2 consecutive years. That could be a trip in for a day every 2 years. That's all it takes to maintain your residency.
Yeah, a couple of other visa options, like we say, there's 25 of them. Many of them are not relevant because they're just not used anymore. We have a digital nomads visa. It's not very good. It allows you to stay 18 months at a time, and then you got to start the process over. We do have if you're younger, this one can work. And I don't mean 20. I mean like maybe in your 30s, 40s, stuff like that. If you have a degree, a bachelor's degree in any of the non protected Panama professions, let's say you got a bachelor's of general studies, let's say you got a bachelor of science, stuff like that, you can get there's a visa for that that doesn't require an investment. Then there's the Friendly Nations visa. Megan mentioned it's either a $200,000 investment in real estate or a bank or a job offer from a Panamanian company.
Hmm. So, Jim and Denise, how can you get the residency? I think it's important to keep in mind also that you probably want to start this with a Panamanian lawyer before you come to Panama. They're going to make sure that you know exactly what program, which visa program you're going to do, that you have the correct documents, that they're all verified and good to go. And then when you're coming down, they already have your appointment ready for you, and a good lawyer will make that all go really smoothly and quickly. If you need a good recommendation. We have some fantastic attorneys that can help you with the visa process.
If you're retired, it's as easy as pie. You're pretty well guaranteed it with a pension. Mhm.
And Cynthia asks, we'll just stay on visas for now. Can you go back and forth between the US and Panama without a visa for 6 months, then return to Panama after a couple months without getting residency?
Yes, you can a
Yes.
few times. That's not really an issue. We know many people that have done that because they're not collecting their pension until 62 and they're 58. I know someone, a really good friend of ours, did that for 4 years. She traveled a lot, wasn't a big deal. No one thought it was suspicious. They immigration, you're allowed to stay 180 days, then you're supposed to leave for 30. And if you follow that, you're pretty good because that's actually the way the law is written, right? There's many people that spend 6 months a year here. You know, they come down here for six and go home for six. You'll never need a residency if you don't want one. So, but yeah, you could stay here a few years. If you start trying to sneak across the Costa Rican border and back the same day, no, you're going to get denied entry one of these days.
And there are some conveniences to having your residency. And if you qualify, like a lot of people will do this if they don't want to take their pension yet, but they want to come down here and they just want to wait to get the pensionado visa once they start collecting. They'll play with the tourist visa for a little bit. But if you qualify for pensionado, it just makes sense to get it. It will pay for itself pretty quickly with all of the discounts.
Hey, yeah, Emil, yeah, the June tour starts June 25th, and it's either single or couple can get on that. There's 4 spots left.
Great. Steve asks, how far back does the criminal background check go? Arrested in 1980 for possession of marijuana and a DUI in 2008.
Your entire life,
If,
Steve. Mhm.
yes. Yeah, and that doesn't mean you won't get residency, but you do need a lawyer to review. If you can get them expunged, that's the easiest way to go about it. Um,
Yeah, the DUI is not an issue because DUI is not a criminal offense in Panama, so they usually ignore that unless there's like 10 of them. But the other one's an issue. And but if you weren't convicted, then you should be able to get it expunged, or it'll say on there no conviction, so you might be okay. And it was 1980, so so but yeah, so do one, Steve. Just do an FBI background check. Find yourself a facilitator, and you're just Google facilitators FBI background check near me. There's probably one around the corner. Pay your $50, pay the fee. I think it's $38 to the FBI, and you'll have it back in a few days, and you kind of know what's on there. And then, if you want to talk to a lawyer, get a hold of us, and we can do some pre-screening for you before you spend money.
Perfect. Morse, stock market income from Canada, is that still taxable in Canada? Would a person be smarter to set up an investment account somewhere else like London or some other country?
Hey, Morris. Good news for you, Morris. Canada's have an option of tax residency. U.S. citizens do not. If you move out of Canada, you have the option of becoming a non-resident. I became a non-resident in 2014 and haven't spoken or received anything from the CRA in 13 years. So no, I no longer have to file Canadian taxes, and I no longer have to. Well, I don't owe Canadian taxes for anything now. Even if now there's some things when you become a non-resident, and with people on our tour and on our Panama Total Access Packs have access to the Canadian accounting experts. That we have two of them that live in Panama that have businesses back in Canada that help people do this, Morris. So yeah. So unfortunately, for yeah, and it does involve, like you say, probably moving your exchange to something more U.S. friendly friendly to Canadians, as you're still a citizen, you'll always be a citizen there. But if you want to go for non-residency, you'll be wanting to do that. You're still with non-residency, you're going to have a 25% holdback on your pensions and any other government money owing to you. But so that's why you have to look at it. Is this right for me? Well, if I'm making this much money on my stock market, or if you're pulling out, like you want to make sure you don't get killed with exit taxes and stuff like that if you do this.
Good explanation. Okay, from Kendall, are there any restrictions on purchasing condos or houses if you are a US citizen? Nope, you can purchase real estate as a tourist in Panama. We would recommend you get residency first if you're planning, or use the purchase to get residency if you have to, but no restriction at all. From Charlotte, can you access your money from B of A, for example, at stores using your debit card?
Oh
Bank of
yeah,
America.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, U.S. debit credit cards work just fine here. You got to be careful of transaction fees and stuff like that, and you need to let your bank know that you're coming here. But for those of you who are going to move here, you're going to end up opening up a Panama bank account anyways because it just makes sense.
Makes your life easier for paying local bills. And Terry says, I noticed discounts on home loans, but how easy is it to finance property purchase in Panama?
Not easy. As a foreigner, it's very difficult. You're looking at minimum 40% down. There may be some developers that can get you 30 if they guarantee it. You're looking at a pretentious interest rate of probably about 7.5 because of the foreigner fees they add to it. And yeah, so you're looking at, and it has to be paid off with most banks by the time you're 75, with you carrying the um, life insurance on the mortgage, which can be hundreds of dollars a month. Now, once you're a permanent resident, let's say, I don't know your age, but if you're in your 40s, yeah, it's possible. You could probably get that down to as little as a 20% down payment, but never, if it's foreign income, probably never any less than that. Our interest rates currently, you can get 6.25 to 6.5 on a 15 to 20-year mortgage.
Next was from Raymond. How was the weather in Panama during the month of August for that tour? August is rainy season, but typically it's if it's sort of like Florida or any of the tropics, you can expect a tropical shower in the afternoons. Could be a couple times a week, could be every day, not typically in August, but um, the rain shower could be 15 minutes, it could be 3 hours. You don't really know, but it doesn't rain all day, every day. The first half of the day is usually always sunny and dry. We've never had an issue where we can't get in everything we need to in a tour, so that the rain prevents us from that. Yeah, it's still nice. Everybody has their like season of Panama that they like more. Like Rod doesn't like dry season, which is December through March, because it's very windy here in Boquete,
Yeah.
even though
My
it's sunny
favorite
and
is
beautiful.
April through August. Average 3 times a week, that afternoon shower keeps everything green. It doesn't rain for more than an hour or so. That's my favorite time of year. Beautiful mornings.
Yeah, typically October, November are the rainiest, but
Yeah.
it depends where in Panama you are. Alan and Belinda, hey guys, are there several airlines that offer the discount? We thought it was just Copa.
No, any airline that has an office in Panama City must have the discount. Currently, that's Copa, Delta, United, and American. The Canadian guys, unfortunately, no, because WestJet and the other, not Sunwing, I can't, Air Transat, don't fly out of Panama. They only fly into Panama. Yes, they return, but there's a difference. You can't book a flight the other way. So, yeah, so they don't have physical offices here. So,
Roger asks, is the climate in Volcan similar to Boquete, and are they similar in size? So, yes, climate is very similar. I would say Volcan and Cerro Punta are a little bit chillier. Um, Especially Cerro Punta, it's definitely the coldest, rainiest area of the country. But climate is very similar. Boquete is bigger. Volcan is a little bit more spread out, and Boquete is a little bit more dense. And it's definitely developing and growing in population and in amenities and housing and all these things a lot faster than Volcan is. Volcan is a lot more slower paced, smaller community.
yeah, about the population size, Boquete would be like 5 times the population of Volcan. Volcan, 5,000 people, Boquete, 25,000 people. And I find it way colder in Volcan, but I'm cold anywhere above 2,000 feet. So,
Outside of Panama City, how vegetarian friendly is Panama? Very. I mean, if you look at the Panamanian diet, typically the most common what they're eating every single day is rice, beans, plantains, maybe a small salad and a protein, um, or some sort of corn form of corn dish, whether that's tamale or tortillas, with cheese. So basically, all of those things are vegetarian friendly except the protein part, the beef or the chicken or the fish, which you can just have without. So, and you can find that anywhere in the country and very affordable. From Morse, the RCMP criminal check costs 86.50 with the commissionaries, and others are now 90.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's about it. I've been here too long, Morgan. I always speak U.S. dollars still. I don't know what a Canadian dollar is. So is there? It's around $60.
As a US citizen, do you have to file taxes in the US while living in Panama?
Yes,
Yes, unfortunately, the US is one
forever.
of the few countries in the world that taxes by citizenship, not by residency.
There's
So
only
you,
two in the world. One is a little country in Africa that's never actually collected taxes, but according to their constitution, they do. It's called
yeah,
Eritrea or something like that.
we
Yeah,
pay for that US passport. But you do not, if you're not working in Panama of Panama source income as a worker of a Panamanian company or Panamanian business, then you don't have to declare in Panama. Or on the flip side, if you are a worker in Panama working for a Panamanian company, but a US citizen, you're not going to get double taxed. You still have to report, but if you're paying tax on that in Panama, you don't have to pay tax on it in the US.
yeah. On that, that's called the foreign earned income tax credit for the U.S. Currently, this year it's $120,000 per person, but it's only on earned income. So you got to be careful. It's not on passive or investment income. Let's say you purchased a apartment building here. It's not on that type of income. It's only on earned income.
Perfect. Yeah, Rachel, I was gonna say I should tell you a little bit more about other options. So that's just to know that you can get that anywhere in the country, the rice, beans, plantains, corn. But if you are in a little bit more foreigner popular towns or a little bit more developed towns around the country, you can find grocery stores and restaurants that will have at least tofu, not really fake meats or tempeh that I know of, but definitely you could find tofu, and you can find more like diverse vegetarian meals. The some of the popular stores are Reba Smith, um, Organica, which is our organic store. You'd be able to find a lot of stuff in those, and we have those all over the country
I
in the
eat fake.
larger towns.
Yeah, I eat fake cheese. I had a dairy issue, so I can find it here in Boquete.
Yeah, the organic store.
Mm. The dollar a slice kills me every time, but okay, maybe not that bad.
All right, last question in the Q&A. Perfect amount of questions, guys.
Yes.
Recommend company to help relocate the pets.
I just put it in the chat, the link, and the company is us. I personally have been doing that for 7 years. I relocate pets every week to Panama. Mhm. Okay. There are some latecomers that are popping questions in the chat. Just very quickly, Burton, price for two-bedroom condo or townhouse, somewhere between 500 and 5,000. Honestly, there's something for everyone, but I don't know. It's different in the city, in the country, what you high end, low end, there's basically everything. Right now, a two-bedroom condo in Panama City in a nice area, you're looking around 1,000, give or take $200.
Yeah, and then Silver asked any visible effects related to the fuel supply and economic consequences.
Yes, the price. We're the same as everyone else. We've gone up a buck 14 a gallon or whatever it is. But you find out when you're in a small country that's only like 70 miles wide, you don't drive as much. I really found that coming from Canada, where my commute home was longer than across this entire country.
Yeah. Here we have a couple, and Jim and Denise in the Q&A asked, is Panama City a good place to retire? Definitely. If you're looking for city
Well,
life,
the
it's
city, we got
wonderful.
many guests in Panama City. Yeah, it's affordable.
Especially
It's
if you're
got
looking for
everything. Yeah,
fast-paced living, lots of stuff to do.
healthcare. You guys can go out dancing, different club every night. Yeah, it does have that. But
Rachel asks about, well, is it welcoming to other religions? Is there anti-Semitism? Are there synagogues? There's a huge Jewish population in
huge
Panama.
in
So
Panama City and
yes,
Boquete, we have a brand new huge synagogue here, and yeah, many of our guests are
very welcoming.
Jewish that have moved here. So definitely, all right, folks, we are done. Okay.
Catch you next
Every
Thursday.
Thursday, 8 Eastern, guys, same link. So if
Everybody.
you use the
Want to say
link, go to
bye?
last week's email. Bye, Noah.
You're finished?
Noah,
Yeah, we're all finished.
we're all
Say buenas
finished.
noches.
No, not saying
He's
it.
like, it's just Rod.
It's only Ron. There's no one else here.
Good night, everyone.
Why
Yeah.
is that
All righty.
rod?
Talk to you later.